The kitchen with the gorgeous Edward Hayden, and we're cooking a gorgeous chocolate biscuit cake, because I'm very impressed. You're not just putting digestives in like most people, you're throwing every biscuit in.
This is a chocolate biscuit cake, Claire, like you've never seen before. It's really simple. There's 4 ingredients in it, super simple and really easy to make, and really tasty. And I suppose chocolate biscuit cake has become very much popular at the minute. People are doing it for birthday parties, children's birthday parties,
even the wedding cakes.
I was going to say the wedding cakes.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of 1 tier fruit, 1 tier chocolate biscuit, and 1 tier whatever. So there's lots of variations for this. Now I'm just doing a £2 loaf tin version this morning. But if people did want to make it for like an 8-inch or a 10-inch cake tin, they just need to double the recipe. Okay. Claire, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to prepare the tin. As I said, I'm using a £2 900-gram. Absolutely, absolutely. Forget about the rest of it after this, Claire. Then what I've got is I've got a triple layer of cling film.
Right.
So that's that all prepared and ready to go. And then what I've got is very simply, Claire, I've got 8 ounces of dark chocolate. I wouldn't just use maybe a bar that you get in the shop because it doesn't tend to melt down as much. But you know the way sometimes people think, you know, use the really, really high cocoa content. I always think if it goes too high, you lose a sense of it being either sweet or savoury. So anything from 55 to 70 is a good tip. So that's 8 ounces of chocolate in there. I've just put in 4 ounces of butter. And then also what I've got, Claire, is I've just got 1 tin of condensed milk. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that in there as well.
What is condensed milk?
Condensed milk, it's just a kind of a nice product to use. You know, you'll often see it boiled for caramel. It's kind of like a liquid caramel of sorts. It's often used in like the banoffee pie. So you know the way everyone loves the kind of banoffee pie. It's full of goodness, Claire.
It is indeed.
Do you believe me?
Well, your calcium.
Do you believe me?
It's your calcium needs.
Now, Claire, just what I would say to people is be very careful with this because it does have a tendency to burn a little bit because everything in there is kind of tendency to burn. So just be very mindful of it.
A low to medium heat, really, and take your time. Very low to medium heat. Take it all together until it's completely smooth. Then what I've got, Claire, is I've just got a selection of my biscuits. Now the biscuits that I'm using, as you said, you can use a whole selection. I've just got some digestives, some rich tea there, a little selection of the chocolate biscuit cake there as well. And I've just put a little bit of icing sugar. I've put a little bit of fruit. You know, I always think when you see fruit on top of anything, you can convince yourself it's healthy. So start with the strawberry and then move on to the chocolate biscuit cake. Do you believe me? I do.
Okay, I'm telling you the truth.
Absolutely gorgeous and very, very simple. Now, if you missed any of that, here's a little recap. Very welcome out to the kitchen where my best friend from Sligo, Joe Shannon, is here cooking us up some pork.
I am so honoured. Your best friend.
After my trip down there, we had a gorgeous time.
And we were so happy to have you down there with us. But I'm going to move on with this pork because I have a lot of work to do and we have a very special guest that's going to come and taste this dish today, haven't we? Which is very, very important to me. So I need to get it right today. Yes. So I really do. So, pork fillet. You can get this, go down to your local cost cutters. You can get all these sort of ingredients that I'm using today, which is great. So we have our pork fillet. This is, you know, some people say you get 2 portions out of it. If you do the dish this way, I would say you get 4 meals out of it. You know, which is great. Take your pork fillet, cut it along here. See that? I've cut a little bit down, but not all the way through. Okay. Right? Using a red board. Now, I'm using a red board. In kitchens, we use colour-coded boards. This is to stop cross-contamination, that you're using 1 colour for raw meat, 1 colour for cooked meat, that type of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Put that between 2 pieces of plastic, right? Okay. And what we end up with, Claire, I'm going to show you now, which is really fantastic, right? You end up, right, I've taken some tin foil, a little bit of cling film, and some lovely aged Parma ham, which is really, really good. I have taken then my pork, see the pork that we have here? I battened it out.
Flattened it out a little bit, okay.
Flatten that out a little bit.
So a rolling pin or whatever you have.
Just put that there, a rolling pin, right? I'll just leave this to one side. Now, I have made, with a little bit of chicken, a little piece of black pudding, and some dried apricots, and a little bit of cream, and a little bit of thyme.
Just all whizzed up?
All whizzed up together. Right, so what we do then is we roll this around together, cook it in the oven with the cling film.
Really?
It won't melt, honestly, right?
Once it's wrapped in the tin foil.
40 minutes at 180 degrees, you're left with something like this.
And I mean, that looks amazing. That's proper restaurant quality.
And then what you can do is you can cook it the day beforehand, and will I plate up? Yes. I'm going to show you how this works out. It really works really, really good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
what I'm serving with this dish...
You didn't just rush that for the sake of television. You really can be that casual, can you?
You can be that casual. This is what you end up. To heat it up, a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter on a pan. The reason we add a bit of oil is that the butter won't burn. Okay, top tip. Heat it up nice and easily. I've taken some frozen peas, see this here, frozen peas, boiled them up with some cream and some mint, and I blitzed them down. Yum. So what we end up is, with this lovely little puree, pass it through a sieve to make it nice and smooth. Okay. All right? So we just put that on the plate like this. How does this look? Look at that. Isn't that really nice and colourful? Very fancy, but very easy. Very, very easy. It's all about easy. As I say, just before we started, we had our pork going on here nicely, just to heat it through nice and gently. We don't want a big, hot sort of pan, nice and moderate. You know, time is, you know, we have plenty of time.
And just brown it slightly.
Brown it nice and slightly. Bring our pan over here. Put this on here like this. As I say, today is the day of the potato. And what I've done with this is some lovely Parisian potatoes. Does that sound very posh?
Very.
Yes, and it's so simple. Parisian potatoes is actually rounded little potato. Okay, I'm just going to show you, Claire.
Okay.
Look at this. And we're going to serve them with this here.
I mean, this is from Paris, obviously.
Yes, but it's a little cutter. It denominates a cutter. Look at that.
Okay.
I've roasted them off in a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of thyme, some sea salt and pepper. And look at that there. A little garnish of spring onion. Look at that. A little bit of asparagus. It's summertime. And some nice cherry tomatoes. How is that? What do you think?
Joe, as ever, that is absolutely
what do you think?
gorgeous.
Does that look like a nice dish?
That is delicious and very simple, as you said.
Absolutely, and that's the point. Sometimes when we cook at home, what happens is we try to complicate things. Keep it simple. And the beauty of this is what we call mise en place. You can prepare the day beforehand, have a lot of the work done, so come on the day, you're not stressed out, and oh my God, look at who's here to taste.
Gerald, Gerald, have a taste there, see what you think.
Just want you to know at home, Joe's been working on this for about 4 hours.
A little bit of sauce. Gerald, do you know what I've done here, Gerald, just for you especially?
What do you think? Could you cook?
I've driven a little bit of cider and a little bit of bean.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's magnificent at these dishes, and he really is, he's a good teacher. And I think I could do it, but it might take me a couple of weeks.
I will do something easy. Knife, fork, have a taste.
Right, okay.
Let me know what you think.
Easiest part of kitchen skills.
Yes.
Now, we will allow you not to speak with a mouthful, but give us your verdict.
No. No, it's not great. It's really not great.
No,
I'm only It's absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. In fact, I'm not even going to that part. It is so tasty.
I was like,
I'm going to sue you, you know that.
Where do we go from here?
Can I have the rest of it?
You can indeed, while we go back to studio.
Really lovely.
Now I'm out in the kitchen with Edward Hayden, and if you thought a sweet chilli chicken wrap wasn't that fancy, think again. Look, we've got parchment paper, we've got twine, and beautiful ingredients within.
Of course we have, Claire, and I'm sure that's what everyone will be doing this morning and tomorrow morning as they prepare lunch for back to school.
Because you're right, you do start off really, like, I'm not going to do ham sandwiches, you're not going to get jam sandwiches, it's going to be fancy. So while people are in that kind of momentum, we're going to grab that.
Yeah, we're going to grab it and we're going to run with it. So again, Claire, I know people often kind of use up maybe roast chicken or baked ham that they might have left over, but if you're starting from scratch, what I've just got here, it's just got a couple of chicken breasts. I'm going to add a little bit of spice to it. Now, nothing too hot or nothing too unpleasant. A little bit of Cajun spice.
Kids
and again,
like Cajun,
everybody has it at home from the wedges, you know, and a small little bit of oil, Claire, and I'm just going to toss the meat there, and it's just good for kind of housekeeping, you know.
Yeah, it makes your life easier too.
Absolutely. I'm going to pop those into the oven, 20 minutes, okay, no more or no less. Thanks, Claire, for those, and then just allow those to cool down, okay, Claire. Then the next stage of the recipe is what I've got here is I've just got a little bit of mayonnaise. Now you could use maybe a little bit of yogurt if you want. Or remember last week we did the parmesan crusted chicken as well, so you could have it with something like that as well, which would be lovely.
Mixed with tomato ketchup, does that make Thousand Island dressing, or am I making that up?
Mary Rose. Now, Claire, what I've got here then is I've got the chicken. This is the chicken as it...
Because that's where you'll get it still moist.
Yeah, you don't want to have it overly cooked. You know, there's sometimes chicken can be dry and stringy and tasteless. And particularly, as you say, off the bone, you do need to be more careful with it. Then, Claire, what I've got is just the tortilla wraps. Again, it's just that you're not kind of using white or brown bread every day as an option. You know, sometimes we like to add a little bit of variety to the lunch box.
Very handy, yeah.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Some homemade chilli sauce.
Homemade chilli sauce, not homemade mayonnaise, because I'm kind of always nervous of the eggs, Claire, you know?
Indeed, around a pregnant woman.
Absolutely. You're never far from my mind, Claire. Never far. You never leave it. Now, a little bit of you can pop that into the fridge, and there is your lunch, and there is our lovely little sweet chilli chicken wraps. And again, you can see we've got a whole series of them, and they'll be devoured in minutes.
Brilliant, Edward. Thank you very much. If you missed any of that or just joined us late, here's a little recap.